Here we are with the street artists and graffiti artists, muralist, Vyal, who is doing his interpretation of evil from I, Frankenstein. So Vyal, how did you get involved with this project?
I was contacted through Angela Ortíz and the Mural Conservancy.
Mm-hmm.
We were approached by what's the name of the company? The name of the company that we're working for. What's their name? Take Two.
So you got contacted by the distributors of the film?
Yeah, and we started talking about that they had this idea to do a project where they would include a number of artists getting together around the U.S. and creating works in different cities around the country. So we got in touch with some artists and gave them a budget, and it was a little bit more than they could afford. So the end result, or to make a long story short, was smaller budget, but with just one artist going around the city and creating works, as I interpret them from the movie, creating original pieces of art that don't act as like typical or even as advertising, but more as just artwork, that your true interpretation of what, and it's a different interaction between a community and a movie and that kind of thing.
And you're doing what is it's evil right now. This is what evil, and you also did.
We did evil, immortal, and which is Frankenstein,
right? Or
his kind of
personalities or what he's going through.
Yeah. And then we did the El Bien, or the good, and that was a gargoyle type character that was painted, and unfortunately he didn't make it. He didn't survive.
Oh no.
Gargoyles are like very old, but this guy was only a few minutes old before he perished.
Which is kind of sad, because I love gargoyles. I love those stories.
I do too, and I think it's really cool, and it's unfortunate that people see something and react before they are informed, and overreact, and would rather see blank walls or gang graffiti than see a piece of artwork. In a city like LA, where it's supposedly progressive, there's still a lot of non-progressives and a lot of conservative people out there who are scared of anything that they don't that's out of the ordinary for them. You have permits, and you can have contracts, and you can have proof, and the fact that you're an artist and that you're doing a project, and there's just certain people out there who are just really angry with the world.
Well, I think what it is that when it's not artwork that conforms to what they believe artwork is supposed to be, is when we end up with difficulties like this.
Which is interesting, because if you think about a case of like a character like Frankenstein,
exactly,
he is totally misunderstood.
Yes, yeah, and he was
has been for hundreds of years.
And it was actually man-made.
Yeah.
Right. So to go back a little in your own background, were you a fan of the old Frankenstein films and stories?
Yes, of course. Which was why I was actually selected for this project, because my own artwork is kind of, in that vein of just being like misunderstood and dark, or seen as being dark, definitely misunderstood. So yeah, it was. It was when it came to the hunt for an artist. It was pretty simple.
Well, I won't be biased, but then I've been following your work for quite some time, so
thank you.
Oh, look, shooting on the streets. Now you've been doing street art and painting for a really long time. You have a series of shirts, t-shirts.
This proves it right here.
That little white hair right there?
Yes.
That's called Graffiti Saved My Life.
Yes.
How did that come about?
That came about just through, I had a friend who opened a gallery in Alhambra called Crew West.
Oh yeah!
Some years back, yeah. Like late 90s, I believe it was. Somewhere around there. Maybe early 2000. And he was basically going to sell a spray paint, but then decided that he was going to actually have shows and curate you know, events and things like that. So they had retail space, and they were like, well, why don't you do a shirt? Why don't you put some of your artwork on a shirt? People were always like trying to tell me to put up my artwork on shirts, and I just never felt like it was something that I was really that into, that idea. But I did have the idea of putting the saying "Graffiti Saved My Life" on a shirt, which I did, and the result was amazing. It was a lot of good years of having a solid T-shirt that a lot of people could identify with, and some people would, you know, question. It was a great conversation starter, and some people would wear the shirt like very proudly because it was literally something that had saved their lives. It's, you know, for me, it was pulled me out of drug addiction and drug abuse. And you know, the one people that would come and pick me up and take me to paint were Manuel and Asylum. They didn't care what condition I was in. They were like, you're coming to paint with us. So I, you know, that was the only thing that was there. Other people would come and go, and you know, people wanted to party and have fun, and nobody wanted to deal with the reality or the consequence of drug abuse, or having a friend who was addicted to drugs. But my friends who were graffiti artists, they kind of looked past that, and they pulled me back, and I was able to kind of use art to escape that.
So definitely graffiti saved your life.
Graffiti saved my life.
And we are lucky for that. We're lucky for that. So after this image here, are you done with the project right now, or are you going to be doing some more stuff on it?
No, after this image here, everything gets photographed, and we're doing a digital output of the mural. So we're doing a digital mural on vinyl. It'll be presented Friday evening, which is tomorrow evening.
Yes, yeah, the movie premieres tomorrow.
We're moving very fast in this, and we just got approval for this on, I believe it was Thursday or Friday.
Okay, cool.
So we've been moving really quickly.
Well, thank you so much for doing this, and continued success, and I'll be seeing you around.
Awesome.
Thanks.
It's always nice to see you.